Bismillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome to A Sister's Ramadan, making the most of the month of mercy. I am your sister, Naima B. Robert, and I am so thrilled that you have joined me today. This show is all about answering one central question. How can we as Muslim women make Ramadan a truly transformational journey from the inside out, so that all those outer deeds and all those outer actions are a reflection of the transformation happening within? The purpose of this show is one thing and one thing only: spiritual transformation, inshallah. And so we have been looking at the characteristics that we can develop throughout the month of Ramadan, inspired by the Quran and Sunnah, but related to our daily realities as Muslim women from all walks of life. And on today's show, we are going to be looking at the characteristic of strength. We know as Muslims that the strength of a believer is something that is praiseworthy and something beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so I'd like to just share with you a few reminders that will hopefully give you some thoughts on how strength can show up in your life, inshallah, and in this Ramadan specifically. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, "Or think you that you will enter paradise without such trials as those who passed away before you? Indeed, they were afflicted with severe poverty and ailments, and were so shaken that even the messenger and those who believed along with him said, 'When will come the help of Allah?' Yes, certainly the help of Allah is near." And so we know that as believers, we will be tested. And we've talked about the nature of tests before. We've talked about how tests are a normal part of life. But one thing that I'd like to share with you is this, that we have been promised and we know that Allah does not burden a soul more than it can bear. And so if we know this to be the truth, then what does strength have to do with us showing up in Ramadan? I wanted to talk about strength and fortitude and forbearance because for many of us, we don't associate strength with a quality that women have. And this is something that I'm going to invite you to change your paradigm on again, to change your perspective on. Because we have been told in our deen that the strong believer is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so every one of us should be striving to embody that strength and that forbearance in every aspect of our lives. And I know for a fact, and you know for a fact, that it is, alhamdulillah, the women that are holding the homes together because they do take care of the needs of so many around them. And this is something to be celebrated. This is not something to be ashamed of. This is not something to be explained away, because this characteristic of strength, of showing up, of doing what needs to be done, even when it's difficult, even when it's unpleasant, this is something that is beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so, if you are thinking right now that you don't have what it takes to take care of your responsibilities and also show up in Ramadan, that you don't have what it takes to look after your babies or cook the food or take care of the house while still praying tahajjud, then I invite you to change that belief. Let's look at the seerah. Let's look at the women of the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They had to deal with everything that we deal with and more, because we do not bake the bread in our homes, we do not wash the clothes by hand, and we are not dealing with a harsh desert environment without the amenities that we get to enjoy, mashallah. And so I'm just going to say it. You are stronger than you know. Give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit. I know that as a woman, you can be your own worst critic, your own harshest critic. And I know as women, we have a tendency to compare ourselves with others and find ourselves lacking. And we often underplay our strengths and undervalue what we do on a daily basis. And this may seem controversial, but I believe that this is actually not humility, as some think, but ingratitude. You are stronger than you know, and if you could not bear whatever trial you are going through, my dear sister, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not have tried you with it. And that is the truth. And so, what does that mean? It means that I know that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings my way, I have the ability to rise from it. Whatever challenge, whatever difficulty, whatever frustration, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen it for me specifically so that I may learn and rise and grow and return to Him. And it is exactly the same for you and every woman and every man out there. Let's stop making ourselves out as victims. Let's stop making ourselves out as weak and deficient in our ability to deal with the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in our way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our strength, He is our guide, He is our protector. Make the most of that. You are stronger than you know. And so as Ramadan is coming to a close, as we are reaching the last few weeks of Ramadan, don't give up now. Even if you fell, get up again. Even if you did not achieve those goals that you had at the beginning, I am telling you, my sister, rise. Because as long as you are here, and as long as you wake up for a new day, you have a new opportunity. You have another chance. Make it count. Now is not the time, ladies, to start slacking off and giving up and saying, I was hoping to have done such and such, I haven't done it, therefore I'm out of the race. No. If we fall off a horse, we get right back on the horse because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us that way and He has given us the strength to do so. So don't deny that strength. Don't deny the forbearance. Do not deny what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you. If you can hold on to that and trust in that and believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not put you in that situation if you could not bear it, if you could not rise from it, if you could not heal from it, hold on to that and let it give you the confidence that you need to push forward another day. And I apologize if I sound passionate, but now is not the time for weakness, my dear sisters. You need to show up for your children, for your families, for your communities, and most importantly, for yourself and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when we reach the last day and when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we want to be able to say that we did our very best, that we believed in His promise, that we trusted in His plan, and we did our very best. So show up like you believe it. And now we've reached that part of the show when it's time to keep it real, and we deal with some of the practical issues and real questions that sisters have on a daily basis during Ramadan. And so our question for today is from somebody who is struggling with low Iman in Ramadan. And we all know that this can happen. We have high expectations of ourselves, we have high expectations of others, and when we don't meet our own expectations, it can be very disappointing. And it can lead to us actually feeling like we are wasting our time, that we are never going to be able to achieve the sweetness of Iman that we're looking for. And so if you are struggling from low Iman in Ramadan for whatever reason, whether it's because you feel isolated or lonely or stuff is happening within your family or within your personal life, I'd like to invite you to firstly, take off the pressure. Ramadan pressure is a real thing. And it's not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We put that pressure on ourselves to perform a particular way, to check off every item on the checklist, to be at 100% every day. I'm going to invite you to take that pressure off yourself and turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. He knows exactly what you are going through. And if you are suffering in any way, He is well aware. And if you're having low iman, the answer to that is stop putting pressure on yourself and give yourself permission to ask Allah for help. Make sincere dua for Allah to alleviate whatever problems you have, whatever it is that you're going through. If you're feeling disconnected, speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ask Him to guide you to people, to lectures, to programs, to gatherings where you can have your iman refreshed. A few other things that you can do to increase yourself in iman is take the focus off yourself. Give to others. Offer what you have to others who are less fortunate. Focus on those who have less than you rather than those who you seem to have more. I would also advise you to choose to be around good sisters, sisters who will increase you in iman and make you feel hopeful and positive and trusting in Allah's plan. You may want to listen to more Quran, certainly do your quls and attend the salah. You may want to make dua in the last third of the night. Focus on your blessings. There are so many different ways that you can increase your iman and take back control of how you feel. So with that being said, I would say get support and don't struggle on alone. If you are feeling in any way low in iman or in a negative space, please reach out because your sisters are here to help you through it. We've all been there. There is no shame involved. Just reach out and inshallah, Allah will send you the very best people for you. And now it's time to pass it over to you. And my challenge for you from today's show is related to your strength. Yes, I am challenging you to make a list of 30 times that you, my dear sister, have been strong or showed strength or fortitude or perseverance, dedication and grit in your life. It can be from when you were a child, from when you were a teenager to today, but I want you to remind yourself of just how much strength and courage Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with your whole life. And then I invite you to give thanks for every single opportunity that Allah gave you to show up as your best self. So as always, make sure you share all your takeaways online and use hashtag #SistersRamadan and be sure to tag Eman Channel TV and of course me, Naima B. Robert, on all social platforms. And if you are a part of our online group, I want to see those lists in the group. I want to see you celebrating yourself, being grateful for the strength that Allah has given you and showing up as your best self. So I will see you in the group, inshallah. And up until next episode, this is your sister signing out. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.